Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now we're going to be covering the Pro Division of the Get Set Go tournament. This is the final round. This is the front 9 holes. Congratulations on making it this far. This is a bit of a tougher course. So I know you've been battling out there on the qualifying and the opening rounds, and now we're going to hop into the weekend. You can see here I'm a minus 15 right now. That's really powered by 2 albatrosses on this account. Now the good news is my replays are full of drops. I'll show you how to pick up the eagle on hole number 1, pick up the eagle on hole number 8 as well. Just unfortunately, I didn't get those on this account, but I do have them for you to see. Now, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off on hole number 1. The thing that I'm going to tell you about hole number 1 is we are going to go for the rough bump because it's one of the most favorable winds to pick up the rough bump eagle on. But if you're not good with speed, meaning setting up a shot fast, you might have a hard time getting this one. It took me a few practice tries to really find what we needed to do. And even with that, I was able to pick up the eagle 2 times in practice out of 5 attempts, okay? And 2 of the attempts don't really count because I was trying to dial in the shot. But it's really glitchy, and you're going to see what I mean. First thing is we're going to play the first shot 10% at max. In tailwind here, we're going to make sure we don't apply too much spin at all. We're going to just do 1 bar atop, as you can see, with 2.5 bars of side spin to the left. There is a particular area of the fairway in which we're trying to reach, and there's also like a certain yardage mark that I'm trying to get to, which really helps with the rough bump here on the second shot. So here, we're going to make sure that we're not going to overpower the shot at all. We're just taking a normal shot, perfect ball, and you'll see that that 1 top spin is plenty to get us where we want to be. And really what we're shooting for as far as yards is going to be somewhere around the 330 mark. We want to get at least that. That'll take us into this rough bump shot here, which is going to be played 5% at minimum distance. You're going to need to be around 4 bars a top spin, a little bit more than 4, so somewhere between 4.1 and 4.5. And then you're going to be looking at the side spin to the right, which is going to be a little bit over 2. It's easier to try to set the spins first and then find the consistent ball guideline. You'll see here I got very lucky, able to find it right off the bat. And we are purposely offsetting to the right-hand side of the pin, ball guideline in the cup. Here is the problem you could be running into, is if you don't get that type of yardage on your drive, you're going to have a harder time getting this shot set up, okay? But this is about where you want to be. You can see I've got my blue ring down here by the bottom of this rough part, and then we're playing the rough bump. I know I'm spending a lot of time on hole number 1, but this one isn't as easy as some people make it look. Again, I was very lucky here to find this path pretty much immediately on this shot. Now, perfect ball here, and this ball does go into the cup. On my other 2 accounts, or not on my other 2 accounts, I have 2 accounts. This is dead center. When I went to play this shot for real in the tournament, right, because this is practice, when I went to play it for real, both of my shots ended up rolling around the cup and not going in, both of them. This shot is very good. It can be very consistent. It puts you basically right at the pin. But if you're not fast with setting up shots, you can always play this shot right here. If you have a high-level APOC, high-level extra mile, what we would do is we would take a snow globe, okay? Of course, you'd have to be a money ball player if you have this. But this is a really good opportunity when you have straight-up tailwind like this to get yourself to a chance to where you could be taking the eagle shot with your thorn. You see here, this is a pretty nasty great ball, and this ball and APOC 6 is even able to bounce out of the sand onto the fairway. So this one seems to have a lot of room for forgiveness, and that will leave you with a very short chip-in opportunity for the eagle. So obviously that shot's not going to take much time at all. What you would really have to do is kind of dial in this thorn shot, okay? This is not my replay. This is an opponent's shot. I thought about playing this shot, but I didn't know how many people who watch my pro would have a Power 5 Wind 0 ball available, as I do think it is best fit to make sure that you get a lot of tailwind behind you, of course, when you're trying to make it all the way across that gap. But you can see here our opponent does hit a perfect shot. So if you want to try to take, some notes on this one, you see that he does miss to the left-hand side by about half of a green square. You'd have to dial that one in, but that gives you a good chance for an eagle too. I spent a lot of time on hole number 1, so we will go to hole number 2. Hole number 2, I mean, we're going back to the well on this shot. This shot has to be here. We're going to go 4.1 back, 1.6 to the left, okay? And here I'm getting as far back as I can with my sniper before it switches to the grizzly, okay? So basically we're trying to get to the minimum distance line on our sniper. Look at my white ring. My white ring is way over here on the rough side. And take a look there at my aim spot. Notice how I'm aiming to the left of the pin. Sort of in that dark green square. It's just really, really hard to read. Here, again, take a look at my spin adjustments. This is 4.1 back and probably 1.7, I would say, to the left. I think we need to change this to 1.6 to the left. I really feel like we can drop this shot. We've dropped it on this wind angle in tournaments past. But for some reason, this time, we got this type of wind angle twice, and I could not get it to go into the hole. So, but it does leave you with a safe, birdie, of course. All right, hole number 3, I do pick up the albatross here. Finally, I was starting to question my confidence on this hole, because this is one I can normally pick up pretty consistently. You see here that we're going to be going with 6 top, or I'm sorry, I think that's 5 top. 1, 2, 3, yep. 5 top, 3 bars of side spin to the left. 5 top, 3 left. I'm setting up with my red ring at the +8 yard mark here. And I'm just making sure that second bounce is going from fairway to fairway. We do hit a perfect ball. And you'll see here, this picks up good yards. And we are trying to get to a certain yard mark on this hole too. If we can get anywhere up here past the 370 yard mark, we're going to be good. This one is 375. The nice thing about using the Goliath is there's not a lot of difference on ring pull between mid and max. Here I am pulling this one though at mid distance. As you can see, I'm using just a fraction of topspin, and we do need to add this topspin. The ball guideline has been a little deceptive, so we're going to add a little bit of top. We're going to put our ball guideline just like that. You can see we're favoring the left-hand side of the hole. And look at the green inner ring, okay? There's your ball guideline. The green inner ring, just a little bit in the fairway there, but most of it in the rough. Perfect ball. And that topspin powers us through the rough, dead center, into the hole for the albatross, like I said, finally. Here we're going to go with hole number 4. I'm going back to my old school days. I'm going with the Goliath. I know people are going to say some stuff about it, but you know what? This hole is a good Goliath hole. It really is. Got the albatross on hole number 3 with my Goliath, so I figured why not go back to the well here on hole number 4. It did take me a couple practice tokens, okay, but there's nothing wrong with using practice tokens when you're only using a navigator. This one, I don't know how consistent it'll be. I only dropped it once with perfect balls, but at least the shot is there. 25% at max. Here, this is about 2.8, 2.9 top. It's hard to tell, and that's probably 0.7 or so side spin to the right. My landing spot is really bottom of the blue ring, very close to the rough line. Top of the blue line, blue ring very close to the sand bunker, okay? You see that right there? So they're not touching the sand bunker and it's not touching the rough, but it's right in that range. And, you know, if you're a visual player, kind of look at the end of my ball guideline and see how it's barely pointing onto the fringe as well. I don't know really how important these details are. It's hard to duplicate because, like I said, I mean, I hit this one perfect nonstop. I finally got a spin adjustment where the ball does go into the hole. But I was 1 for 2, you know, on my accounts with a perfect ball. And the other shot that I missed, it just missed to the right-hand side. So as you can see, I get this one into the right-hand side of the cup. My other account literally came in a little bit hot. It went into the hole and then bounced out. So the shot was right there. It is coming in a little bit to the right-hand side. So just keep that in mind. Now we're going to go to hole number 5. Hole number 5, I do pick up the eagle here as well. Shot 1, 10% at max. Shot 2, 15% at mid, which you will see. But we're going to focus on shot 1. Shot 1 again, like I said, 10%. I push my rings here. About half a ball of overpower combined with a little bit of curl to the right. I am able to hit this one from fairway. We clip the rough and then we roll out. That wasn't intentional. I was trying to go fairway to fairway, but I didn't use enough overpower. This will take us into shot number 2. Shot number 2, I play with 2 bars of backspin. Like I said, I played at 15% at mid. 2 backspin, you can see ball guideline going into the hole, just like that. That one goes center of cup as well for the eagle on hole number 5. So you can see we're dropping a lot of shots on the front 9. Feel very fortunate for that. You know, I wish I was dropping them on my other account. One account minus 15. The other one is minus 13. So this is the better one of the two. Okay. Let me explain this shot to you as I'm counting the rings there. While I'm trying to do my best that I can to count the rings when you pull that way. We're definitely going to be going with a power shot here. I mean, we're talking perfect tailwind. This hole was designed for these types of shots. So I'll kind of do the legwork here for you. Yes, you can do this with pretty much any level APOC. As far as your landing spot, you know, I have an APOC 6. It's all that I have. So I know where my landing spot was here. So, you know, if you're really dropping a lot of shots, you could take this one to a practice tee if you wanted to. I hate to suggest that with berserkers, but if you've won pro tournaments before, you know, you might have a lot of them. But I don't think you really need to, because when I take a look at this, like, look where I'm aiming here. If there's any type of reference point you can use, we're aiming on this green tree, right? So we know the green tree is where we want to be. And I'll just kind of let you decide what landmark you want to use. But here, we're going to go with 2 bars of side spin to the left. And I did like 3.2, 3.3 top. You don't want to go with too much top spin, because in practice mode, when I was doing like 4 bars of top spin, I was rolling into this sand bunker. And this is a full hook. This is a full left hook, full overpower, full curl. But watch how nicely this thing comes in. If you do too much top spin, you're going to go into that bunker right there. So you can see this is really the perfect amount of top spin. Now, you're going to want to keep in mind that wind was only 6 miles an hour. What if you get hit with 8 mile per hour? You need to be able to think on the fly. So if you're going to get like an 8 mile per hour wind, you know, you need to go like 2 bars of top spin max. So just keep that in mind. The higher the wind, the lower the top spin. Very, very important on this hole, only because that sand trap comes into play. But hey, everybody, here's the thing at the end of the day. If this thing rolls into the sand, it's not a big deal. you're absolutely going to be picking up your eagle with no problem, and you're going to be within a very short distance of a shot, possibly out of the rough or out of the sand, to pick up an albatross. I mean, look how close you'll be to the hole, all right? But here, this is great. We're able to take our end bringer out. We do find a nice, consistent ball guideline on this one. I play at 20%, as you can see here. 20% at mid is what I'm going to end up doing. Full top. Look at that. That's a really nice ball guideline. There's no glitches here, which is great. I thought about playing 1 bar of backspin, but I was like, nah, we're going to get back to this. Checking my adjustment again, 4.4 rings. Perfect ball. Nice little albatross right there on hole number 6. Hole number 7, I couldn't get this one down. I got close. Maybe you can get closer. Maybe you can get in the cup. 4 back, 3 right, blue ring on the rough line. We got to give credit to Ben Kennedy. A couple of his followers sent it over to me and said that they were close. They wanted me to examine the shot through Messenger. I took a look at it. Couldn't really give them much advice because it's kind of come down to a curl game at the end of the day. Curl is very hard to figure out exactly how much you have to do to drop hole-in-ones. But you can kind of take a look at this shot. You're going to see the speed is really good, but we come in about 1 green square to the right of the hole. Hole number 7, not going to be a consistent hole-in-one. There's going to be some people pick it up, but, not really a whole lot. This is going to be another good opportunity to pick up the eagle. We're going to go like we have been all tournament, 4.5 top, 3 right, yellow ring right there on that rough line on the right-hand side. And then we're going to go half a ball of curl, okay? Now, I do hit a great shot to the left here, which is the worst one you want to do. A great shot to the left puts you further away from the hole. We'd rather be great right if we're going to hit great, but of course we'd rather be perfect. And here, these types of shots when you're getting dead crosswind are never the easiest ones to drop. But the nice part is you can see with my thorn here, I'm setting up at the +2 yard mark. So essentially that just lets me know that I'm almost at max distance of my club. So, I put in the graphic here that we're playing 5% at max. What I really do here, just to be super technical so is I played this one 5% at max minus 0.1 ring. Because if we were using the slider, if we were in the 90s on our thorn, it only takes off 0.1 adjustment. That's how I played this shot. But keep in mind, if you hit a perfect ball or a great right, you're not going to be completely at max either. But I was here. So this is a hole that is normally slider dependent or offset dependent. You just kind of have to gauge where you're at. You're going to be somewhere between mid and max, okay? So just keep that in mind. Hole number 9. This is going to wrap up the front 9. Thanks for waiting patiently. It's a lot easier for me to break up plays like this, especially on days where, like I had to work a full 9-hour shift at my job today. But I was able to sneak some holes in on my lunch break. Please, before you leave, subscribe if you're not one. Please hit the thumbs up button. Here we're going to go with a quarterback and a guardian combo, okay? Quarterback and guardian combo, 6 miles an hour. Notice I put enough top spin on, combined with 2 bars of side spin to the right, to just get me to the top of the fairway. Now listen, don't be greedy on this hole and try to get every yard, because the worst thing that could happen to you is you could roll into the rough. Now, when you also take a look at this wind angle, if you wanted to be greedy, okay, what you'd want to do is take out your most powerful club. So for a lot of you, it's going to be an APOC 6. I don't think you could go fair. I don't think you could clear the gap with an APOC 5. I think you need an APOC 6 or an extra mile 9 and a snow globe. You could try to power this thing from fairway to the top part of the fairway and then go with a rough bump shot you'd probably have to do a Goliath since the rough is so far from the hole. But I do believe that with straight up tailwind, with a wind 0 power 5 ball like a snow globe, you might be able to make it to the top part of that fairway. To me, I was having a pretty good round. I don't have that many snow globes to go out here and practice. So, I unfortunately don't have that shot for you. I'm just thinking out loud like I do sometimes to try to, talk to some people out there who might be thinking of that shot. I think you can make it. I really do. Okay. But regardless, if you just want to play safe, we're going to go with the Guardian. As you can see, I'm at max distance and I'm stretching out to just kind of visualize, okay, when I make my ring adjustments, how many rings do I need to push back up to max? And unfortunately here, it's a little bit of a guessing game for me. So this is 10% pull. This is about 8.3 rings. I'm then going to try to get some distance back on my shot. And here you're going to see me push back up 6 rings. Ultimately, I push back up a little bit too much, but it's okay because I still pick up the eagle here on both of my accounts. But you can see here that with this big of an overpower shot, I could have only pushed up 4 or 5 rings and been, even closer to the hole. But again, we don't need to be greedy. We're just taking this one as an eagle and then moving on to the back 9. I will do the back 9. It's going to be tomorrow morning as it is time for me to chill and call it a night. Best of luck, everybody. Thanks for watching.